welcome back to my channel, Gabbabetic. Today's video I'm actually so excited for. As you can see from the title, I'm changing my bolus insulin or my daytime insulin for the first time in 14 years. If you've watched my channel before, in particularly my NovaPen Echo video, which I'll link down below if you haven't seen it, you'll know that I've been using NovaRapid pen fill vials for 14 years, which is a very long time. So what insulin am I changing to? I'm still going to be doing MDI, multiple daily injections, but I have a brand new insulin called FIASP. FIASP is the same as NovaRapid in the fact that they're both insulin aspart. The difference with FIASP being is that it's supposed to be ultra rapid acting as opposed to quick acting. Before we go and take FIASP for the first time, you might be wondering, why am I changing after 14 years? I'll show you some of the graphs from today. You can see that my overall blood sugar control is good. My HbA1c is really good at the moment. It's 48, which is really good, and I'm so happy about that. I just want to kind of make it better as best as I can do. So you see those spikes on the graph? That's where the NovaRapid is just taking too long to work in my body. And this is even with a pre-bolus, which is where you take your insulin like 15 minutes before to give it time to work. So yeah, I just want to try and combat those spikes. So that's exactly what I said to my diabetes team, and they approved it. So today is the first time of me trying it. So let's go ahead and try it. Okay, so we're gonna open it for the first time, and I'm really interested to see how it looks, if it looks like a Tresiba pen. So to me it is looking very similar. Here is the leaflet, so have a look at that in a second, but let's just see how one pen looks. Okay, so it is looking a bit like Tresiba, but it does have a kind of a like this kind of shape. I don't know what you call it, like a slender kind of shape. The dial looks the same, and the button that you push in to inject looks the same. It's got this kind of yellow red color, 100 units per mil insulin aspart, and obviously then the expiry date. So let's open it up, kind of twist. Does look extremely like Tresiba. I'll get my Tresiba pen in a second so that you can see, and then it has the markings for how much insulin is in it, and then the insulin in here itself. Like I said, this is a disposable pen, so I didn't have to put in the vial like I normally would on my NovaRapid pen. As I said, the FIASP pen looks very similar to Tresiba. You can see from the boxes that they look exactly the same, so let's take a pen out and compare. Honestly, they're probably the exact same pen, same shape, same kind of branding, same button that you press to inject. So I better make sure that I don't inject the wrong one, because they look very similar, and after years of having a completely different bolus pen, this will be very different, so I better be very careful. But yeah, they are very similar like I thought. Okay, so here is the pen that we have taken out. So I'm going to be using this one today. I'm going to go and store these back in the fridge. This is the Flex Touch pen, which is the disposable one. The only problem that I'm anticipating is this pen doesn't seem to have half doses, and I really love that on my NovaPen Echo. So I do have disposables for now just to try out this one box. But if I like it, I will probably get vials. We'll see at the end of the video. I'll make a decision then and see if it makes any difference. So just to show you, you get 5 pens in a box, which will definitely do me for the month. And then you have a little manual information. So yeah, I think it's time to begin. So obviously this is my first time using it, so I think it will be very much the same as NovaRapid, but yeah, I'm a bit worried in case it is different and I have a reaction or I do have low blood sugar. So I was just having a quick check of this. Everything looks the same. The only difference that I think worth noting and to tell you today is that in this section when it says when to use FIASP, it says for adults, FIASP should be injected right before 0 to 2 minutes before the meal, with an option of up to 20 minutes. So I do normally pre-bolus because this is so brand new, and the instructions say like have it literally 0 minutes before you eat. That is what I'm going to do. So that will be different for me too. That's what I used to do in the past before I knew about pre-bolusing. But yeah, here's all the instructions. So yeah, I'm just going to take the FIASP immediately at the meal. So I've talked about it long enough. Time to go and make some lunch, work out the carbs really well. I'm going to check my blood sugar now too, and then we'll test out the FIASP, and fingers crossed everything goes well. So I have my first meal to try it out with, which is my lunch. So, oh yeah, my blood sugar is 9.3 on the Freestyle Libre. Because I want to be really accurate with this and really see how it works, and you know, if I need to work out new ratios or anything like that, I'm going to double check on my actual monitor just to be safe while I'm trying it out and make sure my blood sugar is what the Freestyle Libre is saying it is, because there can be discrepancies. So here we go, first injection. Right, let's take off the cap, and you can see it there, red, got the vial. Have to put on my needle, which is the same that I used for my NovaRapid pen and the same ones I use for Tresiba. I use 4mm needles. I'm gonna do a little dial up to test. Yeah, because it's brand new, it usually takes. Right, we got it there. Smells like the normal insulin. I'm a bit like, ugh, I feel a bit nervous. So, oh yeah, I worked out the carbs of my lunch. My soup is 10 grams of carbs for what I have in my bowl. I have a drink of Ribena. If you watch my what I eat in a day video, you know I love this, and it's carb free basically. And then I have this gluten-free bread from Morrison's, which says it's 12.8 per slice. So I have 10 in the soup, and then I have basically 26 in the bread. So I have 36. Only thing I don't like about this is I can't do half doses. I guess because I'm that little bit higher, I'm just going to round up a bit to 4. I could round down to 3 if I was, you know, if I probably would round down to 3 if my blood sugar was like 6 or something, but because it's a little bit higher, like 9, I'm gonna go to 4. It feels really weird, I don't know, it feels too much like my Tresiba. 4 units of insulin, here we go. It's lunchtime now, so we will immediately take this. So I will show you it there. I have it now, and I'm gonna press it in. And that's it, it's gone in. Honestly, didn't feel any different than the normal NovaRapid. So yeah, like this is supposed to start immediately, whereas NovaRapid would take a while to kick in for me. So I will check back with you probably in, let's say, an hour from now, and we'll see how the blood sugar's looking.
1 hour later.
Hello. Hi everybody. So it's an hour later, and I feel fine. First of all, I didn't feel any difference. For a minute I thought, oh, am I going into hypo? But I feel like I was just being like a bit paranoid, to be honest. But I feel fine, feel exactly the same. So we're going to check the blood sugar using my real monitor now, and we will also check on the Freestyle Libre then after, see how we got on with the 4 units. It's been an hour and a half, so I assume all of it has worked by now if it's ultra fast acting. So blood sugar is 9.6, and on the Freestyle Libre it's the same as well. I think I was being very cautious when I took the FIASP because my carbs were like, what, I can't remember what I said, like 36 or something, so I rounded up. I knew I was at that like 9 blood sugar, but I didn't want to take an extra correction and take 5 units in total because I was afraid I'd go hypo. But now, because I'm feeling pretty okay, I think I will correct. I'm going to take 1 unit correction, so I'm just going to get my pen ready. I'm going to take that 1 unit correction, and hopefully that will bring me down to like a 6 or 7, because that's honestly what my NovaRapid would have done. So I really want this to work the same in terms of how much to correct. I just did 1 tiny click, which feels really weird. So I have 1 unit, I'm going to inject that now. It didn't even feel like it clicked because the pen is so different. I don't know if I can get used to the pen. But anyway, I've taken 1 unit, and I will keep a track now. I'm editing a video that you will see, and I will keep a track as to how quick this 1 unit starts to work. So I'm going to check back in about 20 minutes and set a timer for 20 minutes, and we'll see if anything is starting to happen then, see how fast this really is, and then if not, then we'll set for another 20 minutes. But hopefully that 1 unit will kick in pretty soon, because it says it will. So see you in 20 minutes.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Alright, 20 minutes is up, and I checked on the Freestyle Libre. It said 8.3, and it's the arrow, you know, as constant. I would like to come down lower than that, and I would hope that 1 unit of FIASP would be the same as 1 unit of NovaRapid and bring me down by 3, so I would get a blood sugar around like 6 or 7, but it's only been 20 minutes, so we will see. But as you know, the Freestyle Libre is like 15 minutes behind your real blood sugar, so I'm going to double check on my monitor and just see if it's actually a bit lower than what the Freestyle Libre is saying it is. It's saying 8.4 though, so it has come down a bit. We saw that it's come down from like 9.4 to 8. I don't know if that's it, if it's worked or not. Like, I'm gonna give it 20 more minutes and check again then.
Moments later.
Hello again, it has been like half an hour, and look at the Freestyle Libre, it says 7.4, so that's really good because that 1 unit brought me down to like 7, like what I was saying, which is where I would have expected to go with 1 unit of NovaRapid too. So I am liking that. I'm gonna double check on this as well. I think I'm gonna use this a good bit this week, just while I get used to the FIASP. Oh, even better on here, this says 6.8, so yeah, like a bit of difference on the Freestyle Libre, but that is so good. That makes me really, really happy because that is the correction ratio I would have had for NovaRapid, so that I'm really liking that. With the FIASP seems to be the same, and I didn't go low either, which is good. But you can see it didn't kick in fully in the first 20 minutes. Like, it was 8.4 after 20 minutes. Now after about like 50 minutes it's at 6.8. I think I'm gonna hold there. If I do go low, I will jump on the camera and let you know. If I don't though, I'll see you at dinner because I want to see how the FIASP will act with a larger amount of carbohydrates for dinner. You know, I had a pretty small standard soup and bread lunch because I didn't want too much carbs at first, just to try it out. But for dinner, I'm going to be having rice, so I'm definitely going to be having more carbohydrates. So see you at dinner if I don't see you before then.
2 hours later.
Hello, so it is dinner time now. It is 20 to 7. So my blood sugar is really good. It's in the 6s there on the Freestyle Libre. Like I said, we're going to double check on here. So the FIASP worked really well. I stayed level at that 6 level and I didn't go low, which was what I was worried about. If it was like really fast acting, that I might go low. It's just before dinner now. Like I said, I'm gonna have a rice dinner, which is a stir fry. Blood sugar 7 on here, so that is perfect. So I'll show you my dinner. Having a stir fry, if you can see at the bottom is a layer of rice as well. Then I've got this Kvarg yogurt, which has 5 grams of carbs. So it said half a packet of rice was about 40 grams of carbs. I think I have a little bit more than that. I didn't weigh it out too much, but I think I have about 50 grams of carbs in the rice. A little bit for the stir fry. I'm gonna estimate probably like 1.5, so 6.5, plus the 5 for that is 7. I'm gonna have a glass of milk, so that's 8. Probably not the best meal to have because I don't have accurate carb counts. Like I didn't weigh out the stir fry itself or anything, so we're just gonna have to go with what we think and have the FIASP ready. Like I said, gonna do 8 units, and I'm going to inject on the other side of my stomach today. So I'll go here. Oh my god, it sounds so quick, like literally. So I'm gonna give it a few seconds there. Okay, so I've taken the 8 units. I'm going to immediately go and eat. Hopefully my blood sugar will stay good. I will give you a little update before bed, and then my plan for the rest of the video is to show you over kind of a few days how things are going with the FIASP, if I have any problems like low blood sugars or any sort of reaction, and how I think it is at the end. So yeah, I'll talk to you guys in a while.
Later.
Okay, hello, it is 10 p.m. and I'm tired. I'm ready for bed. My blood sugar on the Freestyle Libre is 8.3. So I seem to have been really steady with the FIASP at dinner. I'm really happy with that. Just gonna double check on my monitor. I'm not gonna eat anything before bed, but I have to take my Tresiba before I go to sleep. So I better remember to take the right one. FIASP and the Tresiba are looking very similar right now. And 9.2 on here actually. So, you know what? I think I might just take 1 unit of FIASP before bed. Just to bring me down that little bit. And then I should be good for sleeping. But anyway, it's gone so far so good with the FIASP today. I will update you in the morning with how my blood sugar goes overnight. I will take that 1 unit of FIASP now along with my Tresiba and go to bed. And I'll give you an update in the morning. And hopefully all okay, no hypos in the night, fingers crossed.
Day 2.
Good morning everybody. I actually had a really good sleep last night. My blood sugar stayed incredibly stable. So if you look on the graph, you'll see that it basically was like constant throughout the night. Had a little bit of a peak. No idea why, but I didn't do anything and it just went back down to normal, so that's really good. But here's the real test this morning. So my blood sugar is really good. It's like 6 at the moment. I feel confident enough that it is 6, so I'm not going to check on my monitor. Also, I don't know where it is. If you're diabetic, you'll know that one troublesome food can be cereal. A lot of people get a huge spike when it comes to cereal because it just breaks down so quickly. So I thought this would be a good test for the FIASP. I've got this free from Special Flakes and I've worked out the carbohydrates. You'll see that on the screen. It's 78 for the size of bowl I have. I do have a really big bowl because I woke up really hungry because I didn't eat anything since dinner last night. So I do have a big bowl, and I think doing a big bowl will be a good test for the FIASP as well. Because it's 78, I can either round up or down. So obviously I'm closer to 80, so I'm going around to 80. Take 8 units of insulin. I'm hoping I won't go low. The morning for me is the time where I have the most hypos. I seem to be the most sensitive to insulin in the morning time, so I will take the 8 and we will see if that combats the spike of the cereal. As soon as I take this, I'm going to immediately eat the cereal, just because I'm a bit worried about having a hypo, and I am sensitive and I usually have hypos at this time if I'm going to have them, but I'm going to go with 8. I'm going to eat the cereal and I'll give you a little bit of an update later on in the day. Okay, so it's lunchtime and I'm just going to go on a walk, but my blood sugar was so good with the FIASP. You can see on the graph here that there was like absolutely no spike, which is amazing because normally on the Nova Rapid, if I would have cereal, I'd get like a huge spike and then it would come back down. But there was like nothing with the FIASP. So that's really, really good. I'm really, really happy with that. I will try to find a few more like foods like that, like cereal, like foods that do usually cause a spike, and see how the FIASP works. But yeah, I'm going for a walk now. I have to carry my Lucozade because I have no Lucozade tablets, which is really annoying. And I haven't had any lunch yet. I haven't had anything since that FIASP injection that you saw. But yeah, a few more days of trying out the FIASP and then I'll give my overall verdict. And I'll have my lunch, carb count that, and have my dinner, and I will show you that then later on. But I'm really, really happy with how it worked with the cereal and how it really, really reduced that spike. I'm really happy, so hopefully it keeps working. So for lunch, nothing crazy. Blood sugar is 4.7. It says it's going low, but I'm not going to treat it as a hypo. I'm just going to have my lunch. So we know that the soup is same as yesterday. Carbs is 5. I'm only going to have one slice of bread, so that's 13, so about 20. Have some milk over here, so we'll say that's about 30. And then I want to try 2 things that usually spike my blood sugar. So an apple, which is about 10, it's pretty small. And then this Reese's bar, which is gluten-free. So this works out at 25 grams of carbs too. These things, chocolate and this, usually would cause a spike. So I'm going to try it out with the FIASP and see what happens. Total carbs, 5, 13, it's about 20, 30, 40, 65. And I might have 1 or 2 of these. So we'll say about 7 units of FIASP. Okay, so it's like an hour later. I'm really not feeling good. I am having a low blood sugar. This is the first low blood sugar I've had with FIASP. My blood sugar on the Freestyle Libre is 3.8. I've done a real test and it's 3.7 on here. So I am definitely going low. So I don't know if it's the FIASP acting too quick or I just over carb counted. I'm not really sure. But either way, this is the first low blood sugar on the FIASP. So I'm going to go treat that now and I'll see you all in a little while.
Much later.
Hello, so it is dinner time. It's 7 p.m. My blood sugar is 7.6, which is really good. You can see that after that hypo, I treated it and then I kind of went up out of range and then I came back down. I did go for a walk, so maybe that's what helped me come back down. So anyway, I'm in range, and for dinner I'm going to have like a really high carb meal. So I'm having lasagna with chips, and for dessert I'm going to have some secret cake that I made that you might see in another video different time, but I'm having some cake anyway. So that's a lot of carbs. Also, because I made all of it myself, like I made the lasagna and the cake myself, I didn't work out the carbs, so I'm not sure the exact carbs. So I'm doing my best guess. So I'm gonna say I'm probably going to be taking a high amount of FIASP, maybe between like 12 and 15 units once I see the food in front of me. It's still cooking right now. And because they're so high carb and also high sugar with the cake, we'll see how FIASP works. If I do get that huge spike like I normally would with Nova Rapid, or if I stay kind of level. If I don't show you later on, I will show you in the morning the graph for overnight post dinner. I'm not going to eat anything after dinner and the cake today because I'll be too full. But yeah, so far the FIASP is working really good. In terms of like any reactions, I've had none. The injection sites are all the same. There's no bruising or any reaction or any rash or anything like that to a new kind of type of insulin. And besides the hypo today, I feel fine. I feel good. Good morning. So just wanted to give you a bit of a quick update on the FIASP last night after the lasagna and chips and cake. You'll see that like an hour or so after I had the dinner, it was 6.3. So that meant that the FIASP had worked at that time there. Now there's a lot of fat content in the food that I ate, like the chips and lasagna, and there's butter in the cake as well. So I did start to get a rise. You could see on my Freestyle Libre, it started to alarm that I was going straight up at 13.8. Checked on the actual monitor and I was actually in the 16s, which is really high. That I haven't been that high in a while, so I didn't really like that, but I knew why. So at that point I decided I would take some more FIASP. And I have trouble at nighttime with insulin resistance, so normally like I would take 2 units and that would bring me down in the daytime to a normal level, but because I have such bad resistance, I doubled that. So I took 4 units of FIASP and I decided I would give it like 20 minutes, half an hour, because it's supposed to be ultra rapid acting, and honestly like nothing happened. So I gave it another like half an hour and checked again, and you can see that I was just the exact same again. So I decided that I would need more insulin. Now, is this from the FIASP itself, or was there maybe some fat in my body still breaking down that was causing me to go up while the FIASP was working? I'm not really sure, but it wasn't quick acting anyway at that point. Now that could be my own insulin resistance at night. It's really hard to know. Anyway, what happened then last night is I woke up at like 5 a.m, still really high blood sugar. You can see that like after I took the extra 3 units, I went down, then I went back up, so the fat was still breaking down. So I had to get up at like 5 a.m. and take some more insulin. Now my blood sugar is like 9 when I've woken up today. So it's hard to say, but I was hoping it would have brought down that spike much faster. So anyway, today is day 3 of taking FIASP. I don't think I'm going to film anything today. I'm going to give it like 2 days and then I'll give you all another update then, because I think it's fair to like not do 3 days in a row of the video in case like later on in the week I feel any different or I see any more effects. So I'll probably update you in like 2 or 3 days.
4 to 6 more days later.
Hey everybody, so it's about 1 week later. I think it's been 8 full days of using FIASP. As you can see here, I am completely finished this pen. It doesn't even dial up anymore. There's nothing left in it at all. So I will give you my evaluation for the week. I'll show you a few graphs of blood sugars on the screen as well so that you can see what I'm talking about. Overall, I have had a good experience with FIASP. Let's talk about physically first for a second before we go into blood sugars. Physically, I had absolutely no side effects. I think I had 1 hypo in the whole video and that was it since I last talked to you. I've had like no rash or different bruising or anything like that from injecting. I have only injected in my stomach, so maybe a new thing for me going forward this week would be to try to inject my leg or something like that and see how the absorption is there. No reaction to this at all. Didn't feel any different than taking NovaRapid when I was taking the FIASP. So it's been really good in that sense. Let's talk about in terms of blood sugars. I definitely did notice that FIASP helps control that post blood sugar spike. Mostly in foods that like do cause that huge rapid spike, like cereal. Didn't really notice it much for meals like dinner if I had something like potatoes or a carb like that, where I don't usually get that kind of huge spike anyway. The FIASP worked the same as the NovaRapid. You can see, I'll pull up a few pictures of some of my graphs for the days. You can see that definitely, even if I did get a little spike, the FIASP kept it much lower than the NovaRapid. For the NovaRapid, I'd get a huge, massive spike, way out of range, high blood sugar alarm going off, and then come back down. Even if I did get a little bit of a spike with the FIASP, it seemed to stay in that kind of green zone, good blood sugar area, and then return back to the normal level. So really good in that sense. If you look it up, you can see that FIASP is basically just NovaRapid plus an extra amino acid and a vitamin. So it's not actually that much different to NovaRapid. There was 1 or 2 times where I did take the FIASP and I still got that huge blood sugar rise, but in fairness, in the past week I've been a bit stressed and haven't really been feeling well, so I can't put that down to the FIASP entirely. It's really hard with diabetes. You have to factor in so many different things like stress, if you're feeling sick, the food you're eating, what your blood sugar's at beforehand, the weather, like now that it's gone really sunny, things like that. So I wouldn't say it was the FIASP not working. I would say that was probably other factors, because for most of the time the FIASP did stop that huge blood sugar rise. And yeah, the thing with FIASP is because it's so ultra rapid acting that you have to be aware if you might get a hypo. Like I said, that only happened 1 time for me, and I think that was me not counting the carbs right, so that was really good. So yeah, so I'm actually really happy with it. I have 4 more pens to use, which will be like a month's worth of insulin, and then I will hopefully get the doctor to renew this prescription so that I can move completely from NovaRapid onto FIASP. For taking FIASP, in this video I took it immediately. You saw that when the food was in front of me, that's when I took the insulin. For NovaRapid, I would have pre-bolused, which means I would have taken the insulin like 10 to 15 minutes beforehand. Haven't done that at all with FIASP, and in fairness, having not pre-bolusing, it actually still stopped that post-meal spike, which is really good because now I don't have to try and like have my insulin 10 minutes before the food is ready, which is difficult enough at home, but even more difficult if you're out somewhere. Like, how do you know when the food is going to be ready? And you don't want to take it too early and go low, you don't want to take it too late and go high. So FIASP in that sense is really good, because now I can take it just right there and then when the food is right in front of me, which takes the pressure off a bit. I hope you liked this video and that you found it informative and that it gave some information on FIASP. Of course, if you are looking to change, talk to your doctor first like I did. I had to talk to them and we had to discuss FIASP and how it works and make sure I was aware of how fast it works and things like that. But I hope this video gave some insight. If you did enjoy it, please give it a thumbs up, comment down below, and if you're new here, please consider subscribing to the channel. It means so much to me. Thank you so much for watching my video, and I will see you all in the next video. Hello, just wanted to put in a little bonus clip to show you that I did actually end up getting FIASP pen fills. So I've just got them today and they're going to go into my Novo Pen Echo. This is how they looked, and I think this will really help. The FIASP has been great. It's been like a month later filming this. I'm still using FIASP, but I'm finished with my disposable pens. So I've just got my new ones for this that are going to start this week. I'm going to put them in my Novo Pen Echo, and then I'll be able to do half doses, which I think will really, really help. But FIASP has been really good, even a month later, just putting this in. So just wanted to add in that little clip, tell you I've got pen fill cartridges, and I'm going to be using them from now on too.